everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for my June TBR. I cannot believe we are already nearly halfway through the year. That is just absolutely bonkers to me. And for this TBR I thought I would do something slightly different to what I usually do. So normally I will play my Tic Tac TBR game where I do a prompt generator to generate 9 prompts, and then I pick 9 books based on them prompts with the aim of reading at least 3 in a row to win. So each month I pick 9 books, however I never read 9 books. I've made this game knowing I won't ever read 9 books in a month. That would be a lot for me, particularly with all the work commitments and things like that I've got at the moment anyway. So that means each month I am left with a few books that I haven't got round to reading that month. So because of that, I thought we're halfway through the year, let's look back on the previous TBRs that I've done between February and now, because I didn't do one in January. Pick my TBR based on the books that I didn't read them months. Does that make sense? So when I look back, I actually did better than I expected in terms of reading my TBRs. I only had 13 books from the previous 4 months TBRs that I hadn't read, which I don't think was too bad actually. So I've written them down and from them I've picked my TBR. So there were 4 books that I didn't read in the month of February, and I picked 2 books from that. The first book I picked is The Hike by Lucy Clarke. I won't go into too much detail about all of these books because I've spoken about them before, but I'll just briefly summarise them. So this is about a group of friends who go hiking, and there is a woman who went missing a year ago, and I assume secrets are revealed. I just thought it's coming into the summer months. I love hiking and I love thrillers in the summer months. I just feel like they're so fun and quick and easy to read, and yeah, I just really want to try and get to this one this year, so why not put it on my TBR? So hopefully I can get to this one soon. My next book is a Kindle book. It is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So I put this on my TBR initially because I read Circe last year and fell in love with it, and everyone said I'll probably love The Song of Achilles just as much, if not even more. And I just really want to get to this one this year and get it off my TBR because, again, I think I could get a 5-star out of this one. From March there were 4 books as well that I didn't read from that TBR, and I have picked 3 of them to add to my TBR this month. So the first being The Maid by Anita Prose. This is on Kindle Unlimited, which is one of the reasons I've included it, because I'm trying to read as many Kindle Unlimited books as I can to make the most of the subscription that I currently pay for. And again, just another mystery thriller kind of book that I love and find really quick and easy to read. I like a book that you can kind of just speed through and really immerse yourself in the story with, and I feel like this will be one of them. It was really popular when it first came out, and I just want to see what all the hype is about. So yeah, this one is being added to my TBR. My next book from March that I'm adding to my June TBR is Verity by Colleen Hoover, purely because if I don't read it this month, I'm just going to unhaul it. I don't have too much interest in Colleen Hoover, and I don't particularly love what she stands for, but I got given this as a gift and I feel compelled to read it for that reason. So I obviously didn't read it in March, but I feel like I'm going to give it another go this month, and if I don't get to it, I'm just going to unhaul it because, like I say, it's not really my thing. I haven't read too much what this is about. I know Colleen Hoover mainly writes romance, but I think this has got some kind of fantastical and thriller elements to it as well. So we'll see if I get it to this month. I'm not holding out too much hope, but like I say, I'll just unhaul it if I don't get to it. And then finally, from my March TBR going on to my June TBR is The Story of the Lost Child by Elena Ferrante. This is the 4th book in the quartet of books. The first being, I always forget what the first was called, My Brilliant Friend. I really enjoy this series. It's one that I always have to take breaks in between reading. I can't read back to back because it's very intense. And there's so many characters and plot points, but I definitely want to finish this series and have it completed. It's been a decent amount of time now since I read the 3rd book, and I don't want to leave it too much longer before I completely forget everything that's happened. This series is about 2 friends kind of growing up one of them has got married and the other is potentially being left behind, all that kind of thing. So yes, really want to get to this one and complete the series. So I actually did very well in my April TBR. There were only 2 books I didn't read. One was A Little Life and the other was The Village of 8 Graves by Seishi Yokomizo. Now, I was not going to be reading A Little Life this month. That was not going to happen. So I've picked The Village of 8 Graves. This is the 3rd book in the kind of translated series by Seishi Yokomizo. He is effectively kind of sold as the Agatha Christie's of Japan. He wrote, I think, in like the 1940s and released hundreds of books as well, I believe, and they're slowly being translated into English, and this is the 3rd one. I read the previous 2 and really enjoyed them, and hoping to have some success with the 3rd one as well. It's been a while again since I've read from Seishi Yokomizo, and I need to catch up now. There's been a few released in this series that I haven't got to, so I need to start making progress so I can catch up, because I don't want to fall behind with this series. Yeah, another mystery, that seems to be the theme this month, which is fine by me because I just love a mystery thriller. So moving on to May, I have picked 3 books from my most recent TBR that I didn't get to and would like to try and read in June. The first is another physical. It is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. I'm really feeling some romance in my life this month, so I really want to pick this one up. Again, as I said in my last month's TBR, it just sounds like a fun fake dating, friends to lovers book, and I've read I've read a couple of Christina Lauren books and enjoyed them, and I want to read more from her because I know that they've got so many books out that I want to get to. So yeah, that is going on to my TBR. Another romance is Twisted Hate by Anna Huang, who I am again working my way through the series. I think this is the 2nd to last book in the Twisted series, so it would be great to kind of tick that one off and make some more progress. I don't know what this one is about too much, other than I'm assuming enemies to lovers, which I'm all for. I love an enemies to lovers book, and again, I really fancy some romance, so I'm definitely going to pick this one up this month. And then finally, the last book from my May TBR and the last book going on to my June TBR is The Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. This is another Kindle read that I didn't get to in May. It seems like quite a fast-paced, short book, only about 100-150 pages, which I think will be perfect for me in June because, as I said before, I'm quite busy with work and I'm not sure how much time I'm going to be able to dedicate to reading, so a nice short book will do me just fine, and definitely hope I can get to that one as well. I feel like that was a very whirlwind tour of all of my books on my June TBR, but like I say, I didn't want to go into too much detail on them all because I spoke about them in all of my previous TBRs in more depth. But this is the grid I am left with. I've still put them in the grid motion just because I think it's quite fun to try and tick off at least 3 in a row, but we'll see how we do this month. Like I say, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself because I have got a lot of work and stuff like that going on, but I definitely hope I can read some of these. I feel like I've got a good mix of Kindle books, physical books, books that are new on my TBR, books that have been old, completion of series. I feel like I've got a good mix in there. I'm back for my June wrap up to see how I do, I guess. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!